To all the ladies in the place with style and grace, allow me to lace these lyrical douches in your bushes. Who rock grooves and make moves with all the mommies. The back of the club, sipping Moet is where you find me. The back of the club, macking holes, my crew's behind me. Mad question asking, blunt passing, music blasting. But I just can't quit because one of these honeys Biggie got to creep with, sleep with, keep the ep a secret. Why not? Why blow up my spot? Cause we both got hot. Now check it. I got more Mac than Craig and in the bed. Believe me, sweetie, I got enough to feed the needy. No need to be greedy. I got mad friends with Benzes. See notes by the layers. True fucking players. Jump in the Rover and come over. Tell your friends jump in the GS3. I got the chronic by the tree. I love it when you call me Big Papa. Throw your hands in the air if you's a true player. I love it when you call me Big Papa. To the honeys getting money, playing niggas like dummies. I love it when you call me Big Papa. You got a gun up in your waist, please don't shoot up the place. Wow. Cause I see some ladies tonight that should be having my baby. Straight up, honey, really, I'm asking. Most of these niggas think they be macking, but they be acting. Who they attracting with that line? What's your name? What's your sign? Soon as he buy that wine, I just creep up from behind and ask you what your interests are. Who you be with? Things to make you smile. What numbers to dial? You gon' be here for a while. I'm gon' call my crew. You gon' call your crew. We can rendezvous at the bar around 2. Plans to leave, throw the keys to little C's. Pull the truck up front and roll up the next blunt so we can steam on the way to the telly. Gon' fill my belly. A T-bone steak, cheese, eggs, and Welch's grape. Conversate for a few, cause in a few we gon' do what we came to do. Ain't
What's going on? What's going on, chat? Real Deal Futures family, Discord, YouTube, traders, boys and girls. How are we doing this fine Tuesday, June 11th afternoon for the EST time zone that I'm in, Eastern Standard. Now that's a song. Yeah, man. Like I said, I'm gonna start these lives, or I have been starting these lives to go back through. It's kind of entertaining, at least for me, with a different song every day, drastically different category of music. We got some rap, we got some metal, got some country, I guess. I threw one of those in there. Had some Scottish bagpipes. We had the Halo theme song. Yeah, we'll keep it interesting. Started out straight. If you guys don't know, I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing I say here or show is financial advice. Any of my content. Trading's risky. Most traders lose money. You'll probably lose all the money that you intend to trade with. You make your own trading decisions. Again, nothing I do is a suggestion or recommendation to do anything. All for entertainment purposes only. You should also read CFTC Rule 4.4. Make sure you read and agree and understand with all of this on my site, realdealfutures.com. It's also in the description of this video. Let's get over to Forex Factory. Take a quick look at news. Not a whole lot today, as you guys saw. If you're not in the free Discord, I post this every day. Unless I'm going away like the next couple weeks. But I've been posting this every day for quite a while, talking about the news, talking about things that may impact the market. We had no red folder today. We've got a 10-year bond auction happening right now. As you can see, nice big spike up. Right here, it was pending for a little bit. But you can see that that really took off right there at the 1:01, really 1:02 p.m. Eastern time frame. ForexFactory.com is the site I use. Tomorrow we have major red folder news coming up here. We've got CPI and then even more of the focus here, the federal funds rate and the FOMC press conference where Jerome Powell likes to speak and make sure everybody is losing money. So I'll be looking out for that, 8:30 a.m. Eastern for CPI, federal funds rate, and then the conference that follows right after it. 2 and 2:30 p.m. Eastern. Got some other red folder news across other currencies. We also have PPI unemployment claims on Thursday at 8:30 a.m. for USD. And then again on Friday, we've got consumer sentiment, prelim consumer sentiment. So we got some red folder news for the rest of the week. Yesterday we had nothing. Today, nothing but this orange folder that's happening right now. Medium impact is orange. High impact is red. So we will see. We will see how that plays tomorrow. Interesting price action today. I didn't have really trades setting up for this. Sat on the one-on-one session this morning with the man I've been trading with for a while. just kind of staying patient. You know, a little bit frustrating, like I've been talking about. Got quite a few combines in the works, looking to pass them like everybody is. And you know, you get antsy. You want to take trades. You want to make some stuff happen. If there's nothing setting up for you, you know, the obvious choice is to just not take a trade. And that's probably something I'll talk about, maybe a little bit of mindset psychology today, because we got some, again, just not really favorable market conditions for me. It's been a few weeks where maybe 2 out of the 5 trading days, you know, I get to get some trading in. I get in, I get aggressive, I get 2, 3, 4 trades, 5 trades maybe. And then a lot of the other stuff is just me trying my best not to take a bad trade. I think a lot of guys have faced that recently, but this is the 5-minute chart on ES. This happens to be the micros. This is the 100-tick chart. If you don't know, on TopstepX, you could trade the same amount from a risk perspective on micros as you can on minis. Just more flexible on micros. I've been messing with that for now. As you can see, we can watch the 5-minute chart. Opened up to the downside, bearish on ES. Second candle broke and closed below pre-market low. Continued all the way down. We broke below prior day low. Consolidated here for a minute and then pushed all the way back up to put the high of the trading session in. Came back to pre-market low, put like a double top in here, kind of had to wick all the way up above this again after breaking down below and looking like it was headed lower. Back down to pre-market low. Now with this 10-year bond auction, so we're calling this 10-year bond auction. I can get rid of that now. All the way back up to the high of the session. Put the high of the session in, right? Let's see, the high is 53.62.5. Yep, no, we just tapped that 53.62.5 level. So yeah, again, this provided some opportunity for sure, right? To get short and then maybe take the long back up into the range. If we zoom way out on this 5-minute chart over here, you could see this is obviously towards the bottom of this range. If we're going to call this a range, this area of consolidation that we've sat in for, you know, last few days here, middle of last week, June 5th. Here we are, June 11th today. You know, that's kind of just what we got going on here. You know, all-time high and some rangy conditions right around that time. Not too far off of the structure for the last time we put the all-time high in. Kind of set a few of them, tested it a bunch of times, cracked above, and then we kind of sold off a little bit quicker, but we ranged a little bit after that. So that's kind of what we got going on. Not unexpected with news. If you get my voice messages in the free Discord, you know that, in my humble opinion, a lot of times before heavy news, large events like FOMC, the rate, NFP, the days leading up to it, especially if those days don't have any news like we had yesterday and today, no red folder news. A lot of times it's just this anticipation in the markets, kind of not a whole lot of direction. You know, if price breaks out like it did today, it comes right back into the range. So that's kind of what we got going on. You know, I wasn't looking to get short on this too early. I can go back and show you what I was watching and kind of give you my play-by-play of a whole lot of nothing today, but my play-by-play here on the 100-tick chart. Let's zoom out. So TopstepX can get the VWAP correct. If you don't know, my horizontal levels, prior day high, pre-market high, NYSE open with this vertical line, pre-market low, prior day low, and then I use a couple of VWAPs. This is just the standard session VWAP, volume weighted average price. And we've got an anchored VWAP off the high and an anchored VWAP off the low. I move these around. Typically, I start with them anchored in the pre-market session, the high and the low, if it makes sense. Sometimes they overlap. Sometimes they line up almost identically. I just don't find them as useful. But as we move into the session, sometimes I'll anchor them to the most recent high or low. You know, once it's somewhat confirmed with like a break of structure type of a deal, not to get too technical about it, you slap it on a high or a low, and it's used as maybe a dynamic support and resistance, can help you with direction, with trend, deciding who's in control, the buyers, the sellers, you know, that type of a deal, similar to the way that I use my levels. I'll also have discretionary zones coming off of highs and lows on my chart above and below pre-market low, prior day low, pre-market high, prior day high. Maybe I mark a range. Today I didn't. No 15-minute range marked on my chart. No 30-minute range. Sometimes I'll mark an opening range. So we opened up bearish, came down here, chopped around this pre-market low. Honestly, I was looking for a buy. I wasn't sold on it the way we kind of just came right down through it and then just chopped around here. I figured a buy back up to VWAP. Could have been a nice play even if we were going to continue lower. I figured we would at least see a pullback right up to this area here, right where the VWAP was. Didn't take it. Just kind of sat on my hands all the way back down to prior day low. Was tempted to take the long here, just kind of these, the aggressive plays off this level. But we came down with so much force on this one, really strong. I just waited. I'm like, you know what? I don't want to be caught trying to catch the knife. I think we're likely to push below it. I have no idea how far. Maybe we're going to come down to this zone, which is marked off of a low. If we look left, kind of the lowest low in this range. Am I right about that? Yeah, this level right here. That's what this is off of. We were coming down too hard. For me, I like to see some momentum coming into the zone because it gives me an indication that we're likely to bounce. If we just trickle down super duper slowly, sometimes it kind of is just, hammering lower highs into the zone, and I find it more likely to just break through. But this was just too much. It was too much heat to take. I wasn't comfortable just buying, limit buy at the zone, so I didn't. Would I have survived this? Maybe. Not with a 4-point stop, maybe with a 5-point, but, didn't take it. In any event, right here, I was thinking about getting long, if I'm being honest with you guys. And that would have been my play. Didn't take that, and then just watch the market take off without me. No real clean pullbacks. Would have just been jumping in. Could have done it, lined up with some of my criteria for entry. Also would have fit the narrative that we're going to come back into the zone. This was just heavy selling pressure to be buying right back into. But again, that's why we got to stay flexible, maintain that mental flexibility, be able to switch our bias and not marry the initial bias and kind of just trade in the direction of the low time frame, the 5-minute, the 1-minute, maybe a tick chart. So I didn't take it. That's just the bottom line on it. All the way back up, as you can see, not only just back to pre-market low, past pre-market low, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 5-minute green consecutive bars, pushing all the way up. One little doji, and then a few more, breaking above this structure right here. If we look, if we look left, this zone, this area that was tested as support and resistance a few times in this area. We traded above that, took everybody out that maybe was short from anywhere over here. Maybe you were looking to get short once it cracked above. This would have been painful if you were, you had to stop just above this level. Back down to the VWAP. And now, we were kind of consolidating there for a bit and have since pushed off on this 10-year bond auction news. Back up to the highs, just cracked above this time. I was saying this one just tapped it, just cracked above, not really pushing a whole lot higher, just kind of back in the middle of this range here. Again, if we look at where all these zones are lining up, just the highs and the lows, excuse me. We've got this level here. We've got the highs up here. Same deal. Obviously, middle of the area where the pre-market low is been tested multiple times, support and resistance, and then prior day low, another pretty clear level. This would have been, my last ditch level right here, like the high and the low that I have marked off. So we're just in this range, man. We're kind of right in the middle of it. Like if I slap a volume tool, fixed range volume profile, sometimes I find that, helpful. Right from really where we started to get into this area that I'm identifying as a range. We're really right there at the point of control. Here's the high area of volume. We could obviously see by all the price action traded. And that's kind of just where we've been hanging out leading up to FOMC news. So not a whole lot for me. Again, I left a couple voice messages in Discord. If you're not in the free Discord, make sure you hop in. Market insights, trading info, trades, live trading, community, everything. discounts, giveaways. I left a couple messages because, I find that it gets increasingly more difficult the more time goes on, where you're not taking a trade, where you don't have a trading setup, you don't have something that fits your entry criteria, you don't have something, a good way to structure risk, something that makes sense to put a trade on, to just sit there and not take a trade. And whether the market just doesn't set up for you, even if there is some opportunity like there was today, whether you miss a trade, whatever it is, to just not jump in and take a bad trade, it's a difficult thing to do. It's just as important as taking the good winning trade, preserving that capital. So as we come into the summer months, I think more and more traders struggle with that. Market slows down, volatility dies down, volume dies down. It's an overgeneralization, but in my opinion, you're more likely to see range-bound, consolidating movements, not these big opportunity to trade trending movements, breakouts with follow-through in the moves. You kind of can get this consolidating, slow-moving market. And it can be difficult, especially if you're not a range trader, to sit on your hands, to not take those bad trades. But it's extremely important, extremely important. So, we'll try to do that, to not take the bad trade, to wait for the market to set up for us and decide, hey, now is the time that my approach calls to put risk on in the market. This is worth me paying the market this amount, in a worst case scenario, to my stop loss, to find out if this is going to work out for me. It can also be difficult, talked about this as well, it can also be difficult if you have, for example, top step combines where you have 30 days to pass, or the combine rebills, and maybe you haven't made a whole lot of progress. Maybe you've got a lot of those days or weeks where just not setting up for you. You stayed patient, and now you're approaching that kind of cutoff. Yes, it rebills. There's no time limit, but there kind of is, because it resets at rebill if you fail the account. So it can kind of put the pressure on guys to try to force trades, to try to make something happen. The forcing trades, the taking more trades, if it worked, we would probably be doing that all the time, right? But it doesn't, so we don't do it all the time. And when you do it, it doesn't work. So you can try to get creative. Maybe you leverage higher impact events to try to accelerate that path to passing or failing, while acknowledging that you are increasing your risk of failure. You just have to try to be strategic about that. But yeah, it's definitely more difficult as the summer months roll in and the market can slow down. Today is not specifically that. Again, the last 2 days, low news, no red folder news, nothing yesterday, one orange folder today. We are ahead of heavy news the rest of the week. FOMC rate and conference statement tomorrow. A lot of anticipation ahead of that. We're sure to see some large movement tomorrow. Would be blown away if we didn't see any movement around that 2 p.m., 8:30 a.m., and then 2 p.m. and 2:30 p.m. Eastern timeframes. So, yeah, that's kind of where we're at for the day. No real opportunities for me bouncing off of levels. Glad I stayed out of the two buys on the way down. Once we got down there, I just, looking back on it and in my journal, kind of just asleep at the wheel. I'd rather miss a trade, just not being quick enough to act than to take a bad one. But that was one near the bottom as we broke up. Would have been a little bit more conservative of an entry. But again, after we kind of bottomed out here for a while, tapped against this area, if we're going to break down, I want to see the breakdown. If we're going to break up, I want to see the push up. And we pushed back up here, put this just really like an equal low. It's a higher low, but really close. Came back above this anchored VWAP. Don't even know if I had this on, but right here, just remembering the price action, I was looking to get long. And as we pushed up, I don't know why, I was just hesitating again and just kind of let the market run without me. But this would have been my move. I would have just been targeting pre-market low. I'm not going to sit here and say I would have held this for, all of this move. Would have just been a nice trade. Stop loss could have gone below all the lows by a few points. probably would have gone for something like a 3.5 point, maybe 3 point below the lows, really just to let it come down and test if it needed to. That was my trade. Once we got up here, not a whole lot. You could take trades as you're breaking back into the range, but again, difficult to structure risk. Where do you play? Look at the 5-minute. Where do you place a stop loss other than just below the prior bar low? That's pretty much all you can do, once you're this late in the move. So here we are again. I'm not loving this price action. I'm not really enthusiastic about it. I don't think that I'm going to take a trade. I hate to come on here and continue to do this. I want to get some trading in. Yesterday you saw some. I'd like to get some trading in. Again, for me specifically, I have quite a few combines. Got the XFA locked up. Got a couple of combines, more than a couple, in progress. And I happen to be traveling the next 2 weeks. So I was looking at going into today, looking at 4 trading days, really full trading days that I have to trade multiple combines. Want to make stuff happen, but I'm not just going to take trades that aren't there for me and hope that they play out in my direction. If I'm going to do that, I'd rather just trade news. I'd rather just put the trade on, target a $1,000 loss for a $1,500 gain in the 50K and let the thing rip. And, that's probably going to be more beneficial than me just picking a chart, convincing myself that there's a trade on there, and taking, kind of death by 1,000 cuts on the way to a daily loss limit or on the way to, maximum loss limit. So, or just save it for an overnight trade. If I don't have a lot going on, I find it easier to find an overnight trade. I'm much less particular. The entry is not hard for me to find, and it's not exact. I kind of just pick the direction based on where we're at, either in the range, in the trend. If there's a way for me to structure risk, I like to put one of those on and let it play out, let it capture a much larger move, or just move against me. And I'll save the risk capital for that if I can. Told you I would continue to test bracketing news. As you guys saw last time, it worked out abysmally poorly. Did not work out at all. I keep watching those videos. Everybody keeps talking about it. I'll keep testing it, and I'll let you know how that goes. I'll record some of it. Just watching the market continue to push lower now after this push up. We got some sellers stepping in for sure. We got some force coming down. We'll watch what happens here again around the VWAP. Again around pre-market low, this low that was tested here. I do like that as a level to be paying attention to. But yeah, that's where we're at. If you guys got questions, feel free to ask them in the chat. If you say stuff like, give me 10K money, I'm just going to do what I'm going to do right now and ban you. Put user in timeout. And then I'm going to kick you. Bye-bye. Trade with ALOK. What else we got? What's good? Cheap short was worth the stab. Stop above all-time high. Nice. Brucey Bruce. Very nice. Very, very, very nice, man. Didn't expect a ton of expansion ahead of FOMC. Up 30 points. Very nice, man. Solid. Yeah, man. Again, that's the trades that I like to take. That's why you hear me saying, like, I didn't take the buy. I'm dying to take the trades down here. I like the cheap trades in this market. I don't have a strong bias towards, it needing to be breaking out above prior day high or prior day low. If it's headed back within the range, if we've seen this consolidation, I trade within my levels. I am not really the guy that feels super comfortable jumping in, here on the move. I don't think many guys are. Yes, you have trend on your side. It just is hard for me to structure risk, and I hate getting stopped out with too tight of a stop loss and the market moving in my direction. I target levels. I typically don't go for, the breaks of highs in a market like this. So, pre-market low was my level to be looking at. And, that's just it. But yeah, nothing wrong with the cheap trade, man. Nothing wrong with that. I mean, don't always try to catch the falling knife, but nothing wrong with a cheap trade. Let's see. 30 points. Looking on NASDAQ. Yeah, man. Guys taking NQ shorts. Yeah, this, again, not really setting up for me on anything here. Back into the range. This price action's not terribly exciting. Nice bounce here so far at VWAP. Gonna see, where we start to go from here. Do we come back up above these highs and continue? I don't know. We tested it 3 times, and we've pulled back. Didn't break down below pre-market low. We start to get below pre-market low and start to sell off. Maybe there's a trade there for me, pending we have some nice structure for it. I'm going to throw my anchored VWAP on. I'm going to get rid of this anchored VWAP for now. It's not really helping with too much. I know where we came above, and now we're back below these guys over here. So just have to wait and take a look. Andre, what is up, my man? Think that is my man. Yeah, from Discord. Looking at your chart right now, brother. Very nice. Very nice. Yeah. Gonna play the wait and see game on this one. This is a 50K combine that I dug out of the mud. Was very close to failing. $1,000 of profit on the day. Maybe we push it a little bit towards that $1,500 max for the day. We're still below the starting balance on this, so not a stellar combine, but green on the day for this one. Oh, this was an overnight swing. Actually, the only trade I've taken ever on gold was curious to see what I was talking about it yesterday. Talked about not being really interested in it and not trading it. Coming from the CFDs, someone made a comment. And I figured, let me just see what how the I don't even know what the futures contract size was, that type of stuff. So threw a trade on one contract, played out very nicely. Gold's pretty volatile, but it was really just a test trade, and this account was almost dead. I figured I was just gonna kill it, just kind of organize what I had left, but it played out. So dumb luck on that, really. Not that's why I'm not even talking about it. I don't care about a winning trade. That's not something that is really should be counted towards my stuff. Same approach, same strategy, same way that I approach the market, same type of a supply and demand, support and resistance, horizontal levels, reading of market structure, reading of price action. I apply the same stuff to all my trading. But to take one trade and say, oh, it worked out good, that's not really a reason to look at it. That's how everyone starts with gold. Yeah. Yeah, you see? That's I guess how it goes, right? Gold just goes in your favor quick, gets you, entices you, and then beats you up. Yeah, like I said though, not something that I'd say, oh man, I got this all figured out. Even with 10 trades, I wouldn't be saying that. Bruce Lean says, out of that now. Very nice, man. Very, very, very nice. Gold is clean. I like it. I thought about trading it more often. Then it goes kamikaze. Yeah, man. I looked at the chart, right? That was the start of it. I was just looking at trades, looking at overnight stuff. I figured, let me look at gold. Let me just see what that looks like. And it's pretty interesting. I haven't looked at it nearly enough to really be comfortable, but just recently looking at the higher time frame and the lower time frame, it looks like an interesting market structure. Definitely volatile. It looks like it moves. So it'll give you those opportunities. It's probably not going to be a super slow, calm, trending movement. It looks like it pushes and gets moving. But yeah, like it just, I think it's again just preference. And in another life, maybe somebody around me earlier on, guys were trading gold, and that's just what I landed on. I could have easily seen that happening. I didn't have this amazing reason to be stuck on the indices, the pairs that I was trading. Obviously, I like trading ES, the US indices. I could follow it. You turn on CNBC, you hear what's going on with America, with our policies, and that translates to our markets quite a bit. But gold is cool. Gold is cool to see. Usually trade it. Bruce says, I usually trade it at night, but thinking about possibly trading it more during NY, especially when NQ is bad. Yeah, I feel that, man. Good backup, good alternative. Like yesterday, we talked about becoming a specialist on, maybe one thing. Two gold candles and your trade is done. Yeah, I feel that. I feel that, man. Yeah. Again, like I said, it looks very volatile, like lots of opportunities. But as we know, with NQ and some of the other, really volatile indices and instruments or assets, with increased potential of gain comes increased potential of loss. That's the nature of it. So we can go. Zach, try to compare gold with ES. Yeah, I'll take a look, man. Honestly, I have no idea. I'll take a look at it tonight, chart wise. Yeah, I'll take a look at it. I'll go through and do some chart markup. I'll take a look and see what the 5-minute looks like. How it compares to ES. Again, maybe there's something there in the future. Maybe there's something for swing trading overnight or during the day. I think it's cool. I'm going to be a specialist for right now on ES. I'm sticking to my guns, sticking to my plan, dedicated some time doing that. So I'm going to stick with it, specifically on TopstepX with the low time frames and the way that I mark up my chart to really just hone in on it. But for extracurriculars, yeah, I'll take a look at some other stuff. Andre says, in the shorts, he's in NQ 19.099 and 3/4. We will see. On the practice account, NQ may just be wild and whip against me. I feel that, man. I feel that. Good move though. Jump to the practice. Hop in demo. You see live traders. You see the top prop firm guys doing that when the conditions just aren't right and they want to trade or they just want to get it out of their system. Hop on a demo account and test some other stuff out. As far as I've seen, they are inversely correlated. We're talking about gold and the U.S. indices. That's interesting. I know gold's been pushing up. I know it's done all-time highs as far as the value of gold from a jewelry selling perspective. But yeah, I'll take a look at the chart. Again, it was fun enough yesterday. Needed to just risk it for the biscuit a little bit on this one, and was just curious really about the sizing and just watching the chart for 10-15 minutes that I did, left it on, woke up to a nice win, but all good. Yeah, I'm waiting to see if we kind of start to break out from this range. Maybe we run up towards pre-market high, prior day high. If we start to get above these highs that have formed here on ES, I don't think that's completely unreasonable. If we come back down and get below pre-market low, maybe we head back down to prior day low. That's pretty much all I have here. I don't want to take a trade in between all of this nonsense. I don't really want to start range trading and just take sells up near the highs or buys down near the lows. Not really my style to just generally do that earlier in the day, or if it's lining up with a level and structure, maybe here would have been my opportunity to do that right in the middle of New York lunch. But with all this chop and then continuation down, I don't know that I'd be looking to buy right there. So we'll just see. Again, I'm just gonna wait to see if this starts to come up above. Maybe we get an opportunity. We try it long, play to the upside, play towards pre-market high. Don't think it's completely unreasonable to get there. If we start to come off these levels, come back down, head below pre-market low, maybe we have a trade there. Interesting to see the way, these levels are respected. Again, talk about this a lot. Nothing magical. Find your own levels, find your own horizontal stuff. My stuff is my stuff. Works well for me. VWAP as well, man. You can see how these are respected. You got quite a bit of room here. But a couple points, nothing crazy. Nice bounce right here from pre-market low to carry the move. Bounces off the VWAP and the anchored VWAP and VWAP right here, really to the tick. Does it happen every day? No. Is it something I would trade exclusively off of? Definitely not. Does it happen enough to be interesting to me and for me to have it on my chart and to maybe be dangerous is a nice way to put it? Yeah, I think it does. But you find what works for you. There's plenty of other tools out there that might speak to you more than horizontal levels or VWAP. Maybe you're a fib guy. Maybe you're a trend line guy. Whatever it is. What's up, Grateful Trader? How we doing, brother? How we doing? Thanks for the update in Discord, man. Dude is sharing the ups and downs of trading, doing very well. Multiple XFAs, multiple combines he's passing. Solid stuff, man. We got some great people in the community. If you're not in the Discord, hop in the free Discord. While you guys are on here, feel free to like this stream or subscribe. You don't have to do anything. Everything I put out there is free. Free means you don't have to do anything, but it doesn't cost you anything, and it helps me out. Yes, we do. Thanks, brother. Once in a while, Bruce says, once in a while, it is both, but usually inverses DXY more than indices. I don't pay attention to much of that anymore. I've seen them moving together. I've seen them inverse. Gotcha. So we're talking about the correlation between gold and some of the U.S. indices. Glad I took my 22 points. Yeah, man. You see, this is the difficulty. Bruce was talking about being in a short on NQ earlier. This is the difficulty. Look at this just back and forth movement. Range trader's dream. I hear guys say that all the time. Maybe you're only taking the L's on the breakout and continuation, and you're selling the tops and buying the bottoms. But yeah, it's really the lack of follow through on some of these movements, right? Like wick down here at news, and then nice push up all the way back up to the highs. Reverses, fakes it out again. Looks like maybe we're just going to pull back and then continue. Cracks above, come all the way down. Looks like maybe this is going to start to sell off. Buyers losing control, sellers stepping in, and then here we are just back up at the highs. So, difficult price action for me at least. Not really favorable. Playing off of levels for the cheap trade, that's pretty much it. You have to have the confidence and the stomach to take some L's. Again, if you were playing off of all of these today, would have been a loss on the buy here, would have been a loss down here potentially. Maybe you hop in somewhere here. Would have been an L playing on the downtrend if you were selling right here as we came up to pre-market low and VWAP. So you got to work your way through those losses and then come out on top maybe later in the day if you continue doing that. Buying off the VWAP and the pre-market low would have worked out nicely. Maybe setting your zone up here and selling, but again, not really my style of trading. Andre says stopped out on that one. New probability was low at this point. Just put hands in the air for new all-time highs. Yeah, I know. Interesting spot, like from a higher time frame perspective, right? All-time highs. Short a few points away from all-time highs. Got to zoom out more. Gotcha. Remember when I said I was trying to get better at holding my trades above 20 points, but this market has been keeping me doing it? Yeah, no, I feel it. Again, like I analyze my data. I analyze my trades. Recently on ES and on the US indices, holding my trades hasn't been working out fantastically. Trailing a stop loss, it's not really my MO. Stop loss to break even is my deal, but not taking some profit off the table at or past a 1-to-1 and just letting the thing run. It really doesn't give you that much opportunity, or it hasn't recently. We do have days where we break out and just run for forever to the upside, but they are kind of sandwiched in between all of these days where we have this consolidation. And there's definitely opportunity, especially in the cheap trades, but I'd be looking at levels, and maybe VWAP for targets, prior structure, highs and lows, holding for the breakout and the break of the lows and the break of the highs. Not great in this area of consolidation where we have price action that looks like this, So, I think a combination is pretty nice if you can scale out. That's kind of what works for me. I find the best, nice happy balance. 1-to-1, I'm closing half, moving stop loss to break even. Becomes a risk-free trade, and then maybe you close the rest based on structure. Maybe you let it run to 2-to-1. Maybe you just slowly scale out. Can provide a nice happy medium between just cutting your trade very quickly and letting it run and maybe having it come back on you. 15-minute chart at 20 EMA, 200 EMA. Look at the long cross there. I don't solely buy crosses. Gotcha, man. So Grateful Trader says on the 15-minute chart, 20 MA and 200 MA. I feel you, man. And look at the retest of the rising 20 on the 15-minute for my reload. Very nice, man. Very nice. Yeah. Again, it's all about finding what works for you. I saw you talking about that earlier. I saw it on the chart. These can be, strong, helpful tools. I would say, I wouldn't recommend guys use too many of them. You end up looking at everything at the same time. But if it's a combo of MAs, sure, man. I'm sure you're combining it with market structure and price action to a certain degree, and that works well. Look at the retest of the rising. Yeah. If I get 20 points, I'll pass the combine. I usually trade with 1 con, max 2. If I decide to leave a winner, I got you. Top Step used to go with. Yeah, man. All different styles. Got guys talking in the chat. Different styles. Maybe it's heavier and you're going for short moves, small wins. Maybe it's lighter. You're capturing a little bit more. Heavy contracts on NQ can be dangerous. But talking about Apex, another prop firm. Unrealized trailing drawdown, unrealized intraday trailing drawdown. You really have to be a great scalper for that. You can't let trades run into profit and then move against you. It's counted as drawdown. Tapping against these highs again after pulling back. Again, uptrend structure, but uptrend structure was here and it was here, and now it's here again. So it was downtrend structure. So I'm on a very zoomed in view here, but I like to zoom out and look at it. I like to look at the 5-minute as well on the side here if I'm using this really zoomed in chart. We'll watch to see what happens here. Be interesting. Yeah, one of the gentlemen says at this point, don't even look at the minis on NQ if you're trading at 50K. Yeah, I mean, again, it depends on your style, I'd say. But for me, the mini, like one contract, and I like to be able to have 2 to scale in and out if at all possible. One contract didn't allow me a really wide stop loss for the just the stop loss size that I need. I think guys that scalp, or go for smaller moves and have a way of timing the market the way that they do, it can work fine. But in general on TopstepX, if you're trading with that, you have the same purchasing power on the micros. So we were talking about this yesterday. It's no different. To me, it's no different. Used to be that you didn't have the same purchasing power. It was equal contract maximum, and that was very restrictive on the micros. But you can trade with 3/4 of a mini if you like in the micros. So no pressure. I did read something about on the bottom of a TopStep email that I hadn't read before. Let's see if I can pull it up. Something about trading more than 200 contracts in a day was they were not happy about. Not for me specifically. But something that made me think twice about micros. Yeah, so this is on the bottom of a recent TopStep weekly levels email. What is it? Yeah, weekly kickoff email. I'll read this to you guys. To mitigate prohibited conduct, gambling behavior, and exploiting the simulated environment, all trading accounts that have any trade day that exceeds 200 total contracts will be subject to review by our risk and compliance team. If TopStep identifies trading activity in its sole discretion relates to prohibited conduct, TopStep reserves the right to delete the trading day and all its profits, restart the account, or close the account. If repeat violations, TopStep may ban the trader from use of all or a portion of the site and services. So that was interesting. I didn't read that before, I don't think. I don't think trading minis, most guys are going to run into an issue where they're trading more than 200 contracts in a day. But if you're scalping and you're scalping on micros with a lot of volume, and maybe like, you could be trading, 25 at a clip or 50 micros, you might run into that. So something that I noted, maybe be cautious if you are scalping. The frequency of your trades, if you're getting up there past the 200 contracts traded in a day mark. So just something to be aware of. The rules are important. You got to understand the rules and regulations for the company that you're working with. They put them out there, and it's your job to work within their guidelines. So wondering, I'm sure they'll look at micros differently, but something to note. Try to put as much info out there as I can. I read that. I went, ooh, I'm not really scalping like that, but somebody else might run that number up pretty quickly. I don't think that would apply to micros. Understand with minis. Yeah, no, I don't think so. Again, I don't think so. Maybe think though. Maybe think. It's out there. It's on paper. It's written down. And again, you got to try to follow the rules for sure. I think it would be 10 times the amount in micros, but I figured I would read that because it's not something that I had read before on like the frequently asked questions page. It's on the bottom of the emails. So. But we got a few people in here. Welcome to the show, guys. We're on TopstepX here. We're looking at S&P, looking at this choppy, rangy looking day. Push to the downside, back up into this, higher time frame range. When we look over here, zoomed out on, let's go to the 15-minute. We can see where we're at here within this range, this area of consolidation that I would describe it that way. Ahead of FOMC news, FOMC rate and conference. Jerome Powell speaking, likes to make sure the market goes into a frenzy. Not a whole lot for me here, guys. Again, unfortunately, talked about this a little earlier. It gets increasingly more difficult to sit on your hands, to not take trades just to take trades, especially when you have multiple combines in rotation. And maybe like me, your schedule coming up is not going to allow for a whole lot of trading. You got to pass or fail, right? Even if that means failing, like you got to do something. You don't want to just let a fresh combine, go to reset. You don't want to let a combine where you have $1,000 of risk capital left, just go to reset. But you've got to pick and choose. You have to try to have something that makes sense. So not forcing trades, sitting on your hands when market's not setting up for you. It can be as important as taking the winning trades. Not taking the bad trades is important as taking the winning trades. But appreciate you guys being here. Hop in the free Discord. If you're not in the free Discord, live trading almost every day. Market insights, giveaways, discounts, community of traders. If you hop in there right now, you'll see charts. You'll see guys discussing their trades, showing their trades, showing P&L. It's great, man. Growing community. Let's do the member count. I don't think we added a whole lot. 175. Oh, I'm sorry, 275. 275 at the moment. So let's see if we can hit 300 by the end of this week. I think we can. I think we can, man. But yeah, it's awesome. Building the community in Discord has really been awesome. It's been super cool to get to know the same guys, you know, hear their trading, the ups, the downs, have them share it with others. It's really cool, man. It's really, really cool. You get to understand how other people trade, different perspectives, different views on the markets. You see them doing well. You know, you hear the days that they have tough days, and it's just helpful, man. Really, really helpful. I believe for me and for others. It's what I'm doing here to try to bring everybody else value, show you the ups, the downs. My style of trading, answer as much questions as I possibly can for free. You can hop on the Discord and ask me a question right now. I'll do my best to answer it. You could also ask me a question on the live in the chat. If you have any trading questions, feel free to ask. Yeah, let's go ahead and look at NASDAQ. Ooh. NASDAQ pushing, man. NASDAQ is looking way stronger than ES. Wow. Wasn't aware that it was running like this, guys. Look at that. Long America, man. Wow. Strong day. Tech stocks must be running, man. Damn. So now we're pushing up. I think it's likely we head towards pre-market high in ES. You scroll out. If you don't know about TopstepX, you kind of got to scroll out. You have to scroll out and let the VWAP reset, the session VWAP. Otherwise, it gives you some BS reading. Could go for a break and retest if we come back down to this level here, these highs, where we've kind of consolidated here. Don't know that we'll get that, though. NQ looks very strong, running with nothing in sight. Interesting stuff, guys. Never bet against America. Boom, all-time high. Yeah, dude, I know. It's crazy. It's crazy to trade this market. It really is. It's interesting, trading every day is going to be entertaining to a degree, but when it's, when we're making all-time highs, it's exciting stuff, man. It's not the easiest to trade, in my opinion. You want to trade with the trend. You don't want to bet against America. You want to be long America, but it's certainly hard to long at the high. But this long all day would have been the move, man. Yes, consolidation in here, shorts off of these, but again, after the sell-off in the morning, huge opportunity on ES to get long anywhere in here, targeting back into the range. And here we go again, man. Here we go again. The only thing I could see setting up for me here is just a trend continuation trade using market structure and price action. We are within the the consolidating area here. But we broke out hard, nice big close above after some indecision and consolidation up here. Obviously, buying the breakout would have been a move. If we get a retest that comes back down here, maybe cracks down below this level, you could go for a buy. I wouldn't get a stop loss all the way below this, which isn't great for structuring risk, and play it for a continuation to pre-market high. I don't know that we'll get that, and I'm not hopping in right here just at the close of a bullish 5-minute candle on the breakout. It doesn't provide me with a great way to structure risk. I would want to go with a stop loss at least somewhere down here, below these 5-minute bars. Just looking for this to retest down here, structure risk, and shoot for like a pre-market high, prior day high, which with NQ running, I think there's potential for that with ES for sure. So kind of wait to see if I get something like that. I don't know that we will. This looks pretty strong as well. Maybe we just continue. This can certainly just be another BS move, and we just trail down for the end of day sell-off. But we got something, right? I said we were in this zone, wanted to see it break out. Here's the breakout. Pushed up above. 5-minute bar, very, very bullish. Close above. This one almost done. Indecision, small wick to the upside and downside. Maybe we pull back with some force here, get back into the zone, and push higher. But we'll have to just wait and see here. America, man, long America. Yeah, like after yesterday, man. Honestly, you could be just a buyer on the U.S. indices. You really could. There's recessions and downturns. But as of recent, man, like the skew between wins and losses for my buy trades and my sell trades on ES, it begs the question why I tried to short it. It really does. It would have been much better off just not taking any shorts. Vast majority of my losing trades were short trades. And there's something to be said about that. If you scroll out, I encourage you to do so. Hop on a high time frame Nasdaq, S&P, Dow Jones chart. Scroll all the way out. Tell me what direction that trended in over the course of the last few months, years, couple decades. They go up, man. They go up. Yeah, a little bit of indecision, consolidation. I don't want to miss it, but I'm not gonna sweat it. Let's see how the Top Step boys did today. Let's see how the boys on Top Step did today. Top Step is the prop firm that I trade with, along with a bunch of other traders. And they have live trading pretty much all day, every day. They have different traders on, guys that are pretty major traders. Sometimes they bring like different people on. I don't see anything today now that I'm saying it. Oh, there you go. House account down. I don't know, man. That house account would have failed, I think, a couple of combines and been taken out of lives. House account down, 5,000. Dakota up, live account 24,465. Rips up 3,451. Earlier in the day. Looks like all that happened much earlier in the day. Nice. Those guys did all right. Very nice. Get rid of that. Yeah, man. Long America is the play these days, guys. From a technical standpoint, go long the USA. No, more we consolidate up here, the more I think we're just going to continue this push. We're getting to like the 10-minute time frame of just low volume traded after the push up. Maybe we just continue this trail up. What happened on the move on NASDAQ? Let's take a look. Same deal. Pushed up, consolidating, trying to make a decision. I'll still entertain the idea of a long. If we pull back down, I don't think we're going to get it. And if we blast down with force, I'm not going to want to be buying it as we're really, really pushing down. But again, the more we consolidate up here, we're kind of cracking above here. The more I think we're likely to just start trailing, start having this just really slow, tight trending movement to the upside, slow grind to the upside. And my next level would be this prior day high, pre-market high level. But I'll hang out and watch. I'd like to get a trade out of it. But I would be looking long. I'd probably go for a scale in. That's what I've been doing with these. Half a mini, 5 micros. Nice way to structure risk, especially if I'm buying into selling pressure or selling into buying pressure. It takes the pain and the P&L loss away from one that just comes slicing through your initial entry. But somewhere around the 53.60 mark, a little bit deep down into these highs. But yeah, I don't think we're going to get that. I think it's just going to run towards the end of the day. Slow grind. Yeah, in my opinion, they took too long. They take too long to execute. Yeah. House account. Oh, we're talking about the TopStep guys. Bruce says the house account is all over the place. They take too long to execute. I like the idea behind it. I really do. That see, here we go. Here's the push up. No pullback. No clean way to structure risk. You would have been buying the breakout. That's pretty much it. I like the idea of the TopStep house account that they have. They kind of ask all the traders that are trading. Maybe they talk to the chat. They have like check marks that they need to have filled out before they place the trade. And it's kind of cool. It gets everybody involved, makes it fun. But there's not like a lot of time to do that when you're trading low time frames on NASDAQ, which they usually are. So it can be a lot of conversation, and then they're kind of entering late. Or at least that's the general consensus from the chat and from everybody else. So I would agree with that. I would agree with that. It'd be pretty hard for me to trade if every time I wanted to enter a trade, I had to ask like 5 other people what they thought and where we wanted to structure risk and how much size we wanted to put on. Have a conversation about the entire trading idea, and then the market moves. So, but I like the idea of it. I think it's cool. I think it's fun to watch. I enjoy watching the other guys on there. I don't do it so much right now, but if I was going to watch something, it would probably be that. Kind of like what I got going on right here. Live trading, talking about the market, answering questions from the chat, discussing what we got going on for the day, reviewing trades, talking about, the tools that you use, really everything involved with your trading. Slow grinds, they make it hard to get in unless you get, yeah, 3 check marks. They'll be discussing a trade for 30 minutes before entering. But again, talking about what Bruce Lee commented on there, gentlemen in the chat, I need a way to structure risk on my trades. Breaks and retests are typically the way that I do that, or taking the cheap trade where I can get my stop loss below all of the price action and structure at that level. I don't find myself just jumping in with momentum as price is pushing higher or lower. I just find it way too difficult to structure my risk. I don't know where I want to get out. At that point, I feel like I'm late, and even though I'm buying, maybe into the nice bullish pressure, I don't know how far I want to let that trade breathe. I don't have a good way to structure my risk. And there's less opportunity there if I'm targeting a level. If price is broken out and it's running and, we got a lot of room to go, I'm a little bit more inclined to do it. You saw me take some buy trades breaking out above prior day high and pre-market high last week that played out really nicely. So, I will do it. But on something like this, as it starts to trend up and break above this area right here, I'm not just hopping in, at the middle of the candle. That's really not my play. We are pulling back. I'm going to see how this looks. So again, this is what I'm looking at here, guys. A fairly shallow pullback after a break above consolidation. A pullback really somewhere to the top of these highs in this uptrend. Don't have a super clean way to structure risk, and I really don't want to be entering at the top. So I'm going to see if we come off a little bit more. But this really isn't selling me right now. I'm going to get rid of the zone for right now. Yeah, so this would be first level. I'm looking at just the very top of the highest wick in this area of consolidation. If I'm looking at the 5-minute over here, really a push back down into here below, below this little indecision candle and kind of below these wicks near the candle closes. A little bit deeper would be a little bit more ideal. I'd be able to get a stop loss much lower. I don't have a ton of conviction on this one though, guys. It fits the bill though. We're following market structure for the session, right? Yes, we are within this range. I think it's likely that price on this push up has the nice potential to come up here and tap this pre-market high, prior day high level. Don't need it to break above. Don't need it to run towards all-time highs. NASDAQ coming off, if it is, it's high, which I'm assuming with ES doing this is a little bit concerning. But trying to buy trade from somewhere down here, maybe with a scale in, looking at a buy, right down below these lows, somewhere in here, and then maybe a second buy somewhere down here if we get a further push down with a stop loss, somewhere down here would not be terrible for me. But we might not get that at all. Might not be a break and retest. It might just be a nice pullback, cracking below these lows, and filling a little bit of this imbalance here is all that it needed to do. And we're just going to continue. In which case, no harm, no foul, no setup, no trade. And that looks like what we're getting right now. Yep, tick chart picking up. You can see as more volume comes in, more trading's done, more candles are printed. Kind of cool the way this thing works. I do like it. 4-hour supply zone on ES, NVIDIA reject, VWAP. Interested to see what happens here. Okay. Mario, what's up, Mario? Yes, this is the 100 tick chart on ES. Works pretty nicely. It's a little bit more zoomed in than the 1 minute. Interesting the way that this thing forms. It's cool that it's available on TopstepX. Not available with just TradingView. The paid subscriptions, you need like a professional one. But I'm copying Dakota from TopStep style with this. The 100 tick side by side with the 5 minute. Not too far off my favorite, the 1 minute here on ES. If you go back, you'll see me run a 1 minute and 5 minute, the 1 minute or 5 minute, and the candlestick. The footprint chart, TradingView's footprint chart, which I'm not using really anymore. But this has been cool. Been playing with this week. Again, a little more zoomed in, a little bit more close up. I keep it pretty zoomed out, as you can see. I'm not really looking at it like this, just so I can kind of tell what's going on. But it's been cool to watch. It's really interesting to see the way it kind of condenses areas of low volume of just consolidation, and then you get a higher frequency of candles printing as more trading is done, as the volatility and volume picks up. At least so far for me, I've liked it. So didn't retest even the highest level from this zone that I would have marked, which would have been right here. We got close, but not at all. And I probably wouldn't have been placing a buy right there. It would have been somewhere down even lower. But so far we pulled back and we're all the way back up. I think this is very likely to come and run up here and test the pre-market high, prior day high, maybe get above. Just look at the price action that we had up here. Yeah, this is not a bad level, not a bad area. Tested multiple times. Could look on the 5 minute. If we go back even further, a little bit above these highs back over here. This tested as support and resistance a handful of times as well. But we do have, some price action that was traded here. This area, this area, this area. So we might not want to run. The question is, do we try the cheap short from up there on ES? That's the question that I start asking myself now. So maybe buy's done. Do I try short America and it's get wrecked bears? I'll have to wait and see. Have to wait and make that decision. Also, dollar dumping. Interesting, man. Interesting. Yeah. Didn't want to give me the pullback. How do you set up two charts on TopstepX? Good question, Mario. Thanks for hopping on. If you guys don't know, Mario's been here from like day one. I think he was the first person to join anything that I put any piece of content out. So thank you, Mario. You come right up here, Mario, and you select layout. And this would be all of the different chart configurations that you could have. This is the side-by-side view. So if I just went back to 1, this is just one single chart. If you do 2, it sets it up with a side-by-side view. And then you can select what time frame you want for each. So this one is 100 tick. You can see over here. You find the 100 ticks just under the time frame setting on the chart. And over here, this is the 5 minute, but as you can see, like I could change one and it doesn't change the other. This setting down here is a sync setting. New drawings are replicated to all charts in the layout and shown when the same ticker is selected. I believe this one makes it so that it copies all of your chart drawings. So like if I draw a line over here, for example, you see how it's copying to, to the other chart. I did notice something interesting that's probably worth noting as well. If you clone something, I guess it's not a new drawing. So for example, like here's a new drawing. It shows up here on the tick chart, right? We see that. Do it again. Here's 2 of them, right? Now if I clone this, I actually want to run this experiment. It's not a new drawing. You see, now this one is not over here. So something worth noting, because I use that tool. I copy and clone and, just make it easy for myself on stuff that I have like written and drawn, and it wasn't copying. And I go, this is super annoying. I have to mark both charts up. And it wasn't until earlier that I figured out that if you clone something, it doesn't transfer over to the other chart. So just be cautious of that. Again, I don't know if that's a TradingView thing. I don't know if that's a TopstepX thing. TopstepX has a couple little nuances. Funny stuff is just a little bit different than the standard TradingView chart. But as a whole, I really like this platform, man. It's awesome. It gives me everything that I want. I would be really sad if I wasn't trading with TopstepX, and I knew that this was out there. You don't have to try to link a broker and integrate it. I'm biased, by the way, guys. I'm a TopStep affiliate. So full disclaimer. But I really do like the TopstepX platform. Fast for what I can see. I also changed this setting in the settings under like connectivity or whatever the setting is for it. There's something that says refresh rate, and if you have really fast internet, changing it from normal or medium, whatever the setting is set at, to fast, worked well for me. I have fast internet. I have a fast computer. That seemed to work well for me. The only thing I've ever experienced lag-wise on TopstepX was during that news bracket that I tested out that worked miserably. The screen seemed like it froze a little bit. I had like a 2 or 3 second lag. Again, during an extremely volatile news event, can almost be expected. Yeah, Bruce Lean says TopstepX is the way, man. Trade-of-8 sucks. Yeah, I mean, Trade-of-8's the only one that I have experience with outside in a futures platform. But I do all my charting on TopStep. I'm on TradingView. I come from TradingView. Charting on there. Super simple, clean. Easy to use. All the tools you could ever want, and having to try to do that on a whole nother platform like Trade-of-8 and learn all their different stuff. It's all completely different. It's just super frustrating. And so integrating with Trade-of-8 with TradingView, try to get it right, was an option, but I noticed some delay. I noticed some lag in execution and even in running P&Ls, and I didn't like that. So towards the end there, I had it connected, but I was actually executing on Trade-of-8 because I didn't want to experience any lag. And I didn't like that because I'm looking at one chart, I'm trading on another platform. TopstepX really solved that for me. It's a TradingView chart in its platform. It's integrated inside of its its broker platform. Technically not a broker, they're a prop firm, simulated funds, the deal. But yeah, stuff like, some stuff's available on TradingView that's not available on TopstepX. I've obviously found more of that, but a real interesting one is the tick chart. Tick chart's available on TopstepX. It's awesome. I'm going to confirm this now that I'm saying it, but I'm 99.9% sure that it's not available. No. They're not offered. TradingView doesn't offer them except for here we go. no. I still got no. I could tell you just by going to TradingView also. I like to be accurate, and stuff changes quickly. You know, they're constantly adding stuff. But I have the highest paid version. The last thing I heard was if you get the professional version of TradingView, it might be there. But yeah, I don't have any setting for tick chart. Even I can add a custom interval, and I can't put it in ticks. So no tick chart for me on TradingView. Yeah, they got info on it, but on TradingView site, but they're not showing that. Yeah, also preset can't be customized. Cool, nice explanation of it. What are the advantages of tick charts? Tick charts provide some significant advantages for traders. They offer a granular view of market activity. Since tick bars form based on a defined number of transactions, they can give a clearer view of when the market is most active or barely moving. New tick bars form more frequently during periods of high market activity. Conversely, new bars appear infrequently during periods of low market activity. They provide a more detailed perspective of price action, trends, and trading volume, which helps facilitate faster trading decisions. This perspective is helpful for short-term strategies such as scalping, where traders aim to make, we know what scalping is. They can provide enhanced visualization of trading actions during highly volatile times in the market compared to time-based charts. Yeah, unlike time-based charts, with periodically construct bars, candles in fixed blocks of time, such as the 30-second chart represents 30 seconds per bar. Tick charts create bars based on the number of successive ticks, irrespective of the elapsed time. So interesting. Again, I was interested back in the day, you know, when I was just going through that experimenting with everything phase and finding everything out. Watching Dakota trade with it has been a little bit interesting on TopstepX. Piqued my interest and saw it on TopstepX. Heard someone say it and went, "Ooh, time to look at that again." So that's the deal. Again, preference. I don't think any tool is going to just make or break anything massive. I think it's fairly similar to a just nice close up, short time frame chart. You find one that works for you and you work with that. Bye, Zach. I'll be back later. See you later, my man. See you later. Yeah, I don't know what that is. I don't know what the range is. I've seen that, but I don't know what that is. But they had a whole bunch of different charts that came up with beta, all that the footprint chart that they had, all that type of stuff. So here we are all the way back up at pre-market high. I'm not taking the sell from up here. It's the cheap trade. You know, we have reaction. This is a nice close-up view. Tested it, came down, pulled off. Lower high. Now we're breaking below. Again, this is on a super zoomed in. You can see what this looks like on a 5-minute candle. So, grain of salt to this market structure that forms. It's very close up. But here was the trade that would have played very nicely. Didn't give me an entry. At very least, this top level, like I identified, top of the high in this range is what I would be looking for a pullback. Didn't get that. We stopped almost a point, just about a point above that, and then we continued 10, 11 points higher. So break and retest trade, that's all I was looking at there. Didn't set up for me, obviously. Honestly, I probably wouldn't have been taking it right here. I would have been waiting for a little bit deeper of a pullback. Like I said, maybe 53.60s, something like that would have been okay for me. Trade now is the cheap sell off a prior day high, pre-market high. This type of really, bullish day, Not really bullish, but bullish day all the way back up to the top of this range, and Nasdaq pushing like that. I don't know if I want to be a seller again. I said it earlier, right? Long America. I need to learn to stop selling, stop trying to short this market. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that I want to be a seller right now. Man. Nasdaq buys would have paid. Yeah, I don't know about this one. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of the short up here. Again, cheap trade. Wouldn't have to wait very long to see if it was going to play out or not. But this is strong price action into this area. We did consolidate a little bit. I could watch this, wait for another break below to take it. Maybe just targeting a very, very quick move, not all the way even back down into the zone, just somewhere back down here with a real tight stop loss. But I'm not, again, didn't really expect to take one in the afternoon here, unfortunately. 258. Let's see. No, it looks strong. It looks strong, guys. No short for me. Not gonna try to catch the top. This market is no man's land for me. NQ previous all-time high was played. Didn't like buying that. Yeah, man. Yeah, it's tough, man. Again, like I said, for me as well. It's not the easiest market conditions to trade. It's kind of, I don't like to say, oh, it's terrible, or oh, this is, create like an overgeneralization of what I'm seeing in the market. But for me, as of recent, like the last few weeks, the price action has been difficult. It's consolidating within these ranges, and then the big break and push up catches you off guard because you've been looking for in between the zones and levels and watching some, fake outs happen. Not terribly easy to trade. Again, at least for me. Maybe you are cleaning up and you thrive in this type of market structure and price action. It has not just been the easiest. It's like trading, is different difficulties for different guys, right? I heard people talk about this today. It's like trading on hard, on expert level right now. And when the market's set up like that, do you want to be trading on, I think this was TopStep. I was listening to them for a little bit. Do you want to be trading in the most difficult market conditions, or do you want to be, waiting for it to be on easy mode and your stuff is setting up? Market structure is very clean for you, the way you define it. And it's easy. You want to be waiting for easy mode. So again, I got combines to get moving on, but I'm not just going to be taking losses, and that's what I would have been doing here. For me in this setup, it's late in the day. We've got really bullish price action for the entire day, except for the open where we tapped this prior day low. We pushed up. Breaks and retest, a lot of consolidation here, but now we're really forcing our way higher. NASDAQ is on a tear to all-time highs again, so this isn't great for a sell. The only thing that that lines up for me with this deal is that yes, we are in a consolidating range right here. This is the top of that range, selling at that area. anticipating that it's not just going to break out and run, is a play, is a move. But as you could see, I would have been, if I was waiting, I'd be waiting for this type of consolidation, thinking, okay, came up here, stalled, didn't just slice through, and now we're going to come down. That's not happening for me at all. Certainly not buying up here. Here was my opportunity down in this area right here. Market just didn't set up for me. Not going to chase it. Had I take a buy up here, it would have worked today. And then I'd argue more days than not when I do that, market's coming all the way down to my entry or lower and stopping me out. So that's my recap so far of this session. Sitting patient, not taking unnecessary losses. We know everybody likes to see action. We like to see trading. Live trading is hitting the buy and sell button. But right now, if it's not setting up for me, not taking the loss, not giving back profit, or just taking a loss is going to be the move. So yeah, I got nothing on this one. I'm not going to short the all-time high. I think it's going to just slowly grind up until it decides to turn. But I'm not going to get long here. Don't have a way to structure risk at all. I'd still like to be long here. I'd still like to be long here. I'd still like to be long here. So I don't have a way to structure it. Yeah, Bruce says, yeah, man, this price action is super annoying for me. I hate the all-time high levels. Yeah, it's tough, man. It's tough. Again, I don't know. Maybe for other people it's working really well and you thrive in this stuff. For me, it hasn't been super easy. And most of the time, I can identify when I shouldn't be trading. And if I jump in and trade, I take the losses. That's just the deal. Doesn't make it so much easier to sit on your hands, but that's what a lot of these last couple of weeks are. Either no trade days or very light trade days. Most of my stuff in the morning, aggressive trades off levels. Some of that playing out okay, but not easy, man. Not terribly easy. Buy the dips, I guess. I like, that's kind of like the general overview that I'd be taking. Long America, try to wait for the pullback and, buy that. But tough. They never give you the pullback you want, and you don't want to just FOMO in, even though 9 times out of 10 FOMOing in these rallies work. Yeah, I know. They didn't give me the pullback, and FOMOing in would have worked, really anywhere in here. It's tough, man. It's not easy. But guys, if you're on here, I appreciate you being on here. Hop in the free Discord if you're not already. Hit the like button, subscribe. If you don't want to do any of that, that's fine. Hang out and watch for free. But it helps me out if you hit that like button. Doesn't cost you anything. And helps me try to get on the right side of YouTube's algorithm, which I can't figure out for the life of me. Not an expert at the YouTube and Instagram algorithms. But yeah, free Discord, live trading, market insights every day, community of traders, giveaways, discounts, ask me questions. Do my best to respond to everybody in a timely manner, and keep everybody rolling. Plus, I'll be calling out overnight swing trades. I've been talking about that. I'm going to get better about that. I'll share with you guys what I'm taking, if I am taking one, in a non-financial advice, non-recommendation or suggestion to do anything type of way. That's the honest truth. Trading's risky. Most traders lose money. Nothing I do is a suggestion to copy or mimic anything that I'm doing. But guys, I appreciate you being on here. I'm going to jump off. I don't have anything. I'm not going to pain myself watching this market anymore today. I'm going to call it 2:36 p.m. Eastern. That's about enough for me. To me, it looks like we're just going to slow grind up, right? We're above pre-market high, prior day high. We're approaching all-time high. NASDAQ at all-time highs. I think we're just going to slowly grind to the upside. I don't have a way to hop into this. I just don't have a way to structure risk. So I'm going to sit on my hands, stay out, and live to fight another day. Come back tomorrow. Whole lot of news, whole lot of excitement the rest of the week. We'll see how that shakes things up. But I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you. I will see you in Discord. I will see you back here tomorrow.